Ali, what have you roped me into now?
Dan, first of all, thank you so much for joining us here at the FF Tattoo Studio here at the Fintech Talents Festival 2025.
Very excited to be here, Ali. Yes, and you have an assistant.
Yeah, we'll go with assistant.
Assistant, yeah.
Tattoo.
Ali's assistant.
Yeah, it's more I've been assisting on some of the less complicated ones. What I want to know though today is we are going to give you a Jaguar gel tattoo of the Plaid or Plaid logo.
Cool.
Why this company of all the companies out there? Why do you care about this company?
In America, they did open banking without a protocol, without a mandate, without a CMA 9 hashing all the banks together. They just won and done it. They built off their first big client in America was something called Venmo, which basically is peer-to-peer payment, wallet to wallet. It did so well that the banks come together and they created something called Zelle, which was peer-to-peer, right? So, but it was the opposite. It was free market, it was open market, it was not mandated by any competition and market authority, and they nearly got bought by Visa. But they didn't, and I'm glad they didn't. But they're the king of APIs. They are the fintech's fintech. A lot of fintechs plug into the Plaid infrastructure to move money better, to move money safer, and also to democratize finance. And that's why I love the company called Plaid.
Why is it important to you, that democratization through APIs?
I think APIs are the way to connect data safely and securely. Especially now we have AI coming in. You need to know from one data set to another, from one wallet to another. You can't screen scrape no more, that's the big tech game. You can't hoard the data, that's the big bank game. So fintech using APIs connects horizontally, across, up and down, and that's how the modern infrastructures need to be built.
Where do you think that passion for democratization comes from?
Well, look, personally I lost a marriage around 2009 and 10. The global financial crisis hit me hard every which way. And so basically I just want to help banks move into this century, and they're still sitting on 1980s infrastructure. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And here we are all these years later, and the banks don't share data, and the banks are they hide behind things like security and privacy. And are they really serving us customers better or safer? My answer is no.
So obviously 2008, 2009, financial crisis.
I think the world stopped, and I don't think we've recovered. There was 0% interest for a long time. The central banks are still doing repos to fill balance sheets of banks that are under stress. Money has turned into data, and value still doesn't move in real time. We're still, and you know who's winning? The bad guys, the criminals, the fraudsters. And AI is coming down like a speeding bullet train, and the banks are still thinking that they're going to hoard the data, they're not going to share the data, and they're just going to get on side with the regulator. It doesn't work like that no more. We're entering a new world of real-time money and value movement. Just look at stablecoins, and you got the answer in one.
What makes someone a good guy then?
Obviously, focus wholly on the customer. Think of the early days of Starling Bank. All they cared about was the customer. And they won awards, right? And obviously, you're taking a longer road to make sustainable profits. But I think a patient long-term plan surfaced around a customer or a business, then you're not just making your money from central bank issuance and loaning at various interest rates levels. I think those business models are not going to work any longer, because we're moving into AI and stablecoin. If you automate and orchestrate, what's the purpose of a bank anymore? It's an open question.
Are there any other companies that you like that have a similar value set to
Well,
Plaid?
MX are good. They're a company in, I think, Utah.
Who, sorry?
MX. Yeah, they're very good. Again, it's using cloud-first, API native, infrastructure, so that you track and trace, and therefore you can catch things on the fly in real time. It's obviously, as I said earlier, it's more expensive to build the infrastructure, to build the dev portal, to connect because we still live very much in an analog world when it comes to money and banking and information. But they actually are teaching big banks and little banks how to responsibly manage customer data.
Thank you very much for talking to us today, Jay. That looks incredible.
I'm like a guinea pig
Amazing.
for the tattooist.